When was the last time you seen a man commit a crime against a woman, and we went and on this panel you witnessed us blame her for it?
What was that show when we were watching that video? And the guy, like, he had done something and he had filed like a lawsuit or whatever and took all no, not a lawsuit. They were married or whatever. After the marriage, he wanted to go after all of her money, and y'all laughed and said, "Ha, deserves it.
What?
She should have this and she should have that and she should
That
have
ain't the
this."
question that I asked. I said, when was the last time you seen a man commit a crime against a woman and we all justified the crime by blaming it on her?
Never, not on this podcast, never.
We don't do that. We don't see women get crimes committed against them and then say, "Oh man, you ain't shit because you should have had a better choice." Do we say that about relationships when people have bad relationships and they don't work out? Yes, we talk about it in that sense. But never will we sit up on this panel and blame a woman if a man's committing a crime against her, if he's raping her, if he's robbing her, if he's stealing from her, if he's hurting her, if he's harming her. We would never sit there and say, "Well, you deserve that shit because XYZ," or "You should have picked that."
Well, none of us said that you deserve it. And I've said it plenty of times. I'm very specific in what I say. I didn't say he deserved it. I said specifically, I said that's wrong of her to do that. And at the same time, too, because he's a certain age and in his status, it's very important for him to move a certain way that'll prevent certain situations or help him prevent certain situations. But when you're moving around reckless and you're slinging dick everywhere, there's going to be issues that happen with that, issues that cause that. Now, am I saying that he's a horrible person and he's wrong and this, that, and the third? Never said that. I'm saying you got to move smart and you got to be careful because this doggy dog word, we know how it is out here in the entertainment industry. It happens all the time. She is still wrong. She still needs to be held accountable. He still needs to countersue. And whatever else he can get out of it, if everything she's saying is a lie, should still happen. But at the same time, we're also all adults and we can't just be all on like there can't be two sides every story or there can't be two rights and two wrongs. That's just not going to happen.
Hey, look, I'll be the first one to say that Shannon's moving bad. He's moving bad. I don't agree with how he's moving. He shouldn't be moving like this. He's too mature. He's too old. He done been too far in the game too long to be moving like this. I agree with that. But what I don't agree with is these allegations that she is bracing on. She's not even charging criminally. She went straight to the financial side. She said, "Well, I'm not even gonna charge you criminally, even though I may feel like he SA'd me. Oh, fuck that. I'm going straight for the back." That lets me know what type of woman he is, where she stands and how she moves. Now, he did wrong for dealing with this heifer. He dead wrong for dealing with her. Once he seen her moving like that in a little shade, yeah, he should have got out of there, but he didn't. Maybe because that cootie too wet. She turned it too well. She put it on his goddamn chin, and he didn't know how to act. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Hopefully, this will be the last time it happens to him. I don't know if it's gonna be the last time because he seems like he's gonna fall for the okie doke once again. But hopefully, he learned from this lesson.
Well, there were a bunch of people that came on his podcast that said, "Be careful in how you're moving," and we're missing that too. Like, what was Monique? She
all
said
she told him to do was get with an older woman. That's all she told him. Stop dealing with younger women.
And that's what all older women tell men.
I don't think dealing with someone younger should come with having crimes committed against you.
No, that's not what we're saying. We're not saying that at all. We don't think that anybody, despite your age, should have a crime committed against you. But you also have to be able to understand that there are certain things that could potentially be prevented if you move a certain way. That's it.
You don't think
that's the thing. I truly believe that he understands that. He knows that. And he just don't care. I got the bread to do it. Fuck it. I'm a trick off. I think that's just the route that he's taking. Now, be it if he's telling other young men in the NFL to not do this and he's doing it, then hey, so be it. Nigga, I'm even more of an example of what not to do because you see my fuck ups right here. So either you want to be a fuck up and continue to and do what it is that I'm doing, or you want to do the opposite. So I don't.
If he was a trick, right? If he was just tricking off, right, Callie, and he was spending all his money on this girl, and then one day he found out the girl don't really like him like that, and he came back to us and said, "Oh man, y'all, man, I thought this girl was true to me, yada yada yada." Then of course we can have this conversation about, "Hey, bro, you know the game, man. You out here tricking off, and you over here, you look dumb out here." Well, I draw the line at is the fact that this ain't that. This ain't a instance where a man is just tricking off and losing his bread by will, and he thought that the woman might have liked him a little bit more than she actually did, or he thought that his money actually meant more than it did. That's not the situation. We have a situation where a woman is literally trying to extort him and make a false claim against him. At that point, that's why I draw the line at. I'm not gonna call a man dumb for somebody committing a crime against him. I'll call him dumb for tricking off his money, yeah. But calling him dumb because somebody committed a crime against him, even if he is dumb.
Bro, you can't even say he dumb for tricking off his money. That's his money.
Well, yeah, it's his decision. But you know what I mean. If he was to come back and complain about it, that's what I mean.
Yeah, now right, yeah. Exactly. Now, if you complain about it, then it's like, bro, like you know what you're doing, but he knows exactly what he's doing. So who cares?
But yeah, that's why I draw the line.
Care a little bit more. I think he should care a little bit more. If she willing to give it up for some money, she willing to do a lot more for some money. Ain't nothing. Hey, look, it might not be no limit to what she willing to do for some money, like put charges on you for some money. So
I'm quite sure he knows that. Again, if he's willing to drop 50K on some cheeks, come on, man. You know, like we have to look at it from his own perspective, right? This man wakes up every single day in a completely different world than anything that we can imagine for a long time. So 50K to him, that ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So if he's blowing that off on some white girl just so that he can get a nut off, then hey, he know what he doing. Hey, I know what come with this, and I'm willing to pay for it. That's the whole point of paying for it.
I mean, and although we could say, you know, I agree, he must not care, and that's his life to live, whatever the case may be. Could we all agree, and disagree if you don't agree, but could we all agree that somebody with his stature, with that amount of money, and considering where it led to now, which is her accusing him of this XYZ 1, 2, 3, do you think that there was things he could have put in place legal wise, I don't know, NDAs, contracts, whatever the case may be, to somewhat prevent this from happening? Again, it's not his fault that somebody has committed a crime against him. Yes, that is true. However, do you think that there are things that he could have done at his age and stature and how long he's been in the game to prevent?
Besides absolute abstinence, no.
So
besides absolute abstinence, because y'all got to think. Y'all making the assumption that only this girl or somebody this young would do this.
I'm not saying that.
I know. I'm just saying he is faced with these type of women no matter the age, right? So barring outside straight up abstinence and swearing off women for the rest of his life. As a matter of fact, it ain't even just women that probably come after Shannon Sharpe like this. Y'all know how many dudes be trying to get into fights with these dudes in the club or at the bars or stuff like that just because they have money. So outside of like leaving people alone and swearing off women altogether, there is nothing he would have been able to do that would prevent a woman from coming out here and saying he did something, he raped me, he did this to me. Even if he had evidence that may be able to try to prove this particular situation, that shit gets thrown out all the time. People try to doubt evidence all the time. There's nothing that would stop. Now, there's things that he could do that can probably save him after the accusation, like while he's in court. But to prevent being falsely accused, there is nothing he can do about that.
Yeah, the only thing that he could do is literally just document that, okay, I went to go see her on this day. We had sex on this day. I paid her this much, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be shown in his bank statements and hers. So on top of the conversation, on top of the fact that I'm more than positive they got more than one sex tape. So there is a long list of documents showing that this is mutual. So even if they did sign an NDA, that does a lot of times that doesn't matter. People will still go aside from the NDA and
Cassie
break that
signed the
contract
NDA.
That's
and
Cassie
still go
signed
to
one.
the public.
And the thing is, you gotta Cassie. Now the only thing is with
Deshaun
Cassie,
Watson did it too. But the thing is, I don't know. I mean, there have been cases where people have signed NDAs and it got thrown out because of there was something that wasn't in there or whatever technicality that the prosecutor had found out. So I can't say that it doesn't happen, that NDAs do get overthrown. It's just more very unlikely, but there are some serious cases where it's like, nah, like this is just illegal. To be honest, paying for sex is also illegal, but
you
like,
can't sign an NDA for illegal activity.
yeah, you can't sign an NDA for illegal activities, so you shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
at the end of
But even then, no, because you could easily say we're two consensual adults that want to have sex, and I gave her this $50K for her time, or this is a gift. I wanted to give her $50K. I'm gonna write it off. You can even write it off on your taxes. I gave this person a gift. Whole time you paid for some teaching.
you would get. Hey, bro, you're going to jail.
you can't.
You ain't getting out of that, bro.
No,
they gonna,
you can write it off
they
on your
gonna say
taxes.
No, you can't.
You could,
A $50 gift.
sweetie.
Yeah, you can absolutely write it off on your taxes.
You
as
could
a
give
gift.
somebody. You could give somebody a gift tax free, bro.
If the participating party comes out and says this
there's
is
nothing else
he
that
paid
comes
me
out of
for,
it. Yeah.
if she comes out and says he paid me for sex, there ain't no, oh man, this was just I was just paying for her time. That's like you can't make people sign NDAs when you're doing illegal activity. That's why it didn't work for Diddy. It doesn't matter that he made her sign an NDA for whatever he did to her. The moment it's a crime being committed in the process, you can't make somebody be quiet about it. And then also you can't make somebody sign an NDA, or you can't do what Viz said if you're committing a crime. Like pay somebody $50,000 for their time.
Viz, you think this woman's gonna sit there and not do that? Look what she's doing now. You don't think she ain't gonna sit there? Yeah, he paid me for this ass. This is what. Yeah, he gave me as a commissary gift. Yeah, come on, man. We know what it is, man. Look, y'all keep saying, well, he should have got an older woman. That chick that Jalen Green got pregnant, she was an older woman.
The woman that Anthony Edwards got pregnant, older woman.
Brittany
Renner, older woman.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the age, man.
Are they frontal lobes not developed?
If these heifers are crazy and they got these crazy ass mindsets and they gonna do what they gonna do, man, it doesn't matter. Now I'm trying to figure out where was the goddamn parents at, knowing she was probably messing with this older man. What was the parents at?
Yeah.
Hank, that girl had
OnlyFans. Where was your goddamn daddy at? Why didn't your mammy say something? Let me tell you what happened.
OnlyFans.
They probably told her what to do. Yeah, they told her what to do. Yeah, I agree. I think so too.
They said we all about to get paid.